way ahead of me, although I feel I'm doing pretty good with this, believe it or not, but I got to get a different iPad. Okay. Leslie, can you hear us now?
I can hear everything.
Okay, there you go. Perfect. Okay. So that's all you can have, right? Because you're on a call, right?
I can see the picture of everybody, but that's okay. I can hear everything.
Okay. So you called, you're not on the video on purpose, or did you just call?
No, I did the whole Zoom thing by phone. I did it all. I've done it for several meetings, and I can see everything going on. I don't know why this is not showing your faces.
So you can't see our faces right now.
I can hear everything though.
Okay.
That's all right. I know what you look like.
Is that, what's the guy's name that's doing this? Matthew? Is it Matthew tonight?
Yeah, it's me.
Hi, Matthew. How you doing? Sorry.
I'm doing all right.
Can't believe I remembered. Is there anything you can do to help her, or is that it?
Hi, so this is also Andrew here with Matthew. It looks like she called in, she called the number. If she's calling that number, that's just for a telephone line. That's not for video conferencing. So she needs to click on the Zoom link in the that Eleanor sent out on her smartphone, not call the number.
Yep. Okay.
With that said, real quick though, if she has internet service, great. But if she's doing it with just a phone service, she's better off just staying on the phone.
Yep.
Not doing video.
It might drop, Dave.
Stuttery, crazy.
Service, and I can try a different way. I'm going to hang up and just go to my email where the link is and press it that way rather than dialing.
Yes.
Okay?
Yep.
All right. So don't worry. Continue, and I'll just do it the other way.
Okay. Let's see what happened there. Is there anybody else? Is Maureen in yet?
I see Maureen.
You can? Okay, because I can only see 9 people. So I'm sorry. Okay.
Well,
Hello.
So we'll wait see if Leslie gets on.
here she is.
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Okay, because I was having issues with my microphone, so I'm going to mute now. But so we've got everybody, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Eleanor. Okay.
Unmute.
Oh, look, even Andrew's there. Yay!
Oh, he exists.
We got a fancy camera. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Leslie, we're missing someone. Who are we missing? John. No, we've got John. We're missing one person.
Bert?
Oh, Bert. I forgot about Bert.
Bert.
Oh my God.
I haven't heard from him, so I don't know if he's attending or not.
He generally calls, though, sometimes, doesn't he?
Yeah, but Andrew or whoever's had to host in the past has walked him through it. He has called in, but he even was able to actually get on the video call last time, I think.
Okay. Well, where's Judith?
She's there.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
My God.
She's right in that pointing to
I know,
it.
I can't see. I can only see 9 people, so I'm sorry.
She's got a beautiful beach
I'm here, Nat. I was just getting some more water.
She's got the eroding Sconset Bank.
She's still ensconced.
That's
Dave's still in the Caribbean. He's been in the Caribbean for 2 months.
I even have a fan next to me, so I feel like I really have that breeze.
Nat, you can swipe your screen so you can see an additional 9 people.
I can? How do I do that? Go sideways, Christy?
Yes.
Everything okay?
Thank God.
Oh, yeah. All right, there's Leslie. She looks like she's in the Caribbean too.
I am. Hi.
All right. I love this. See, you guys are teaching me stuff. Okay.
Christy's got some nice swag on
Love
too.
it.
Farentella Landscaping, nice. Advertising. Oh boy. Oh, now we have, what is that?
Uh-oh. Who did
Uh-oh,
that?
what just
Nat.
happened?
What
I
did you
didn't do
do?
it.
Nat,
This is
Leslie did it.
Oh,
Leslie
Leslie.
Green.
your screen
No.
sharing. Stop sharing your screen.
It's
no. I
Leslie.
didn't mean to do that.
It's Leslie. It's Leslie.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Okay.
So
Oh
funny.
my God.
Am I
Screen.
doing something
Okay.
weird?
You shared your screen for a sec.
Oh, okay. I
I
don't
think
know what
I'll
that means.
stay. I think I'll stay with my existing 9 players here. I don't want to screw something. I didn't do that, right?
No, you didn't.
Okay. All right. So are we good? Is everybody here? Bill, you're muted. So you guys are doing that on purpose. Okay, got it. So I will read the stuff from the state. So there's a preliminary matter. Nat Lowell, Chair of the Planning and Economic Development Commission, permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipated on this agenda are present and can hear me. So just go by roll call, I guess, or say here. Fritz McClure.
Aye.
Judith. Judith, you can hear me, right?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. John Trudell. Aye. Dave Iverson.
Aye.
Christy Farentella.
Aye.
Maureen Phillips.
Aye. Aye.
And Bert Johnson, I believe, is not here, but we'll say his name anyway. Maybe he's out there. Okay, he's not. Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
and Jack Gardner.
Aye.
And staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Andrew?
Aye.
Eleanor?
Aye.
And Derek Schuster? Derek, I know you're there somewhere.
He was
I
there.
think he might be muted.
He's
He
getting
might be
pizza.
muted.
He's getting pizza, Nat.
Oh, he might be. And Billy Saad?
Aye.
Thank you for being here, Billy. And Mary Longacre, I know you're out there.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here. I think that's it. Okay, so good afternoon. This open meeting of the Nantucket Planning and Economic Development Commission is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of COVID-19. In order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19 virus, we have been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, such the governor's order suspends the requirement of open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed to and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment. For this meeting, the NPDC is convening by video conference via Zoom, as posted on the town's website. Okay.
Nat,
Yes.
Bert's here.
Oh, Bert, are you there, Bert?
He's got to unmute.
He's got to unmute. You should be able to hear me, Bert. Okay. Well, Judith, can you see him there, or is he on just the phone?
It looks like he's on his phone. Now,
Okay.
now he's there.
I'm
I
there
just-
now, right?
There you
There you
are.
go, Bert. We can hear you.
Okay. I'm on my iPad.
Okay.
Perfect attendance this meeting. I'd like to
Amazing. This is great. Okay.
It's all because of you, Ellen.
Okay, so we will start the meeting. So I'll call the meeting to order, and I'll do a roll call for the quorum. So just like we did before. So Fritz McClure.
Aye.
Judith.
Aye.
John Trudell.
Aye.
Dave Iverson.
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella.
Aye.
Brett Johnson.
Aye.
Maureen Phillips.
Here.
Leslie Johnson.
Aye.
Wendy Hudson.
Aye.
And Jack Gardner.
Aye.
Okay, before we approve the agenda, there's a couple of changes. We need to continue the bike committee till August for a couple of different reasons. And Martha Turk is not available tonight for the census discussion. So I'd like to ask for a approval with those changes of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Who made the
Roll
motion?
call.
We've got to do a roll call.
Who made the
Sorry.
motion, please?
Fritz made the motion.
Thank you.
Bert seconded.
Bert seconded, Eleanor. So Fritz McClure,
Aye.
Judith Wagner,
Aye.
John Trudell,
Aye.
Dave Iverson,
Aye.
Christy,
Aye.
Maureen Phillips, I think, Maureen, you okay?
Yeah, no, that wasn't me coughing.
No, I know, I'm sorry. Okay. And Bert Johnson,
Aye.
Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
Jack Gardner,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Okay. The minutes of May 29th, Eleanor found a couple of typos.
They were minor. One was, Andrew pointed out that CMAC is with a Q because it's not, I had that wrong, so I corrected that. And then I noticed that I had cut and pasted something in there about the agenda being approved under the votes, but I've removed that, so it's been cleaned up.
Okay, great.
I have one more change for the agenda on page 3, item VIA2. So the tip item, there's an acronym that says SRTP. I think it's supposed to be SRTS for Safe Routes to School. So
Talking about the minutes. You're talking about the minutes, not the agenda.
Well, I already
it's from the last meeting.
Yes, so we're talking about minutes here. So, okay, I will change SRTP to SRTS. Got it.
Thank you, Derek, very much. So does anyone else have anything on that? Otherwise, I'll accept the motion to approve those minutes with those changes.
So moved.
Is there a
Second.
So Judith moved, and I think that was Bert seconded.
Okay, and just quickly, Christy and Jack and Leslie should abstain. They were not present, so.
Correct. Okay. So who else wasn't present?
Christy, because she wasn't here yet.
Yeah, right.
Jack and Leslie.
Okay. So I'll go through the names then. Fritz McClure.
Aye.
Judith Wagner.
Aye.
John Trudell.
Aye.
Dave Iverson.
Aye.
Maureen Phillips.
Aye.
Bert Johnson.
Aye.
Wendy Hudson.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Okay. Public comment. If anyone has anything that that's anyone that's out there. If Mary has anything that's not on the agenda, otherwise we'll continue and accept any during the meeting. So first thing up, we have the at-large member this year, and Wendy is the incumbent, and Mary has submitted her name as well. This is the first time that we've done the appointments on Zoom, obviously. So if anyone has any questions, we've read Mary's note and Wendy's as well. Does anyone have any anything to say? Otherwise, I'll accept the motion.
Nat,
Yes, Judith.
I would suggest we give each of them a chance to speak briefly if they like.
Yeah, I mean, if we want to do that, that's fine. I mean, it's a difficult situation because I'm not exactly sure what to do as far as, because we're not going to do, emailing.
Right,
So I don't think we need to get to that level. You know what I mean?
right.
So I'd rather be open about it and discuss, openly. So.
Nat, I would like
yes.
to say something. This is Mary Longacre.
Hi, Mary.
I just wanted to let people know why I applied. And
Yep.
When I look on the town's website for NP and EDC, the term expiration dates are not shown. So I didn't know whose term was up. And I didn't know if anybody was going to request to be reappointed. Now knowing that it's Wendy, and I would say I'm all in favor of Wendy continuing the work that she's doing, especially with the governor's various boards and commissions. So I just wanted to let people know that I saw a gap and I didn't want it to go unfilled, and so I put my name in. Everything I said is true. I am interested, but I have no desire to remove Wendy from her position.
And I appreciate that, Mary, and I appreciate the conversation we had on the phone about this too. And you are one of our favorite people that actually shows up at our meetings, and always has something enlightening and important to say. And I appreciate that, and I'm sure the rest of the members do as well. Your participation with the committee that you're on, that you were on TV the other night. It was really, it's a lot of work, and you're very involved, and we appreciate it.
And Nat, when you get to other business, I do have something that I can offer you as a follow-up from your previous meeting in May.
Okay.
So I'll just hold that, but let you know it's coming.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mary, very much. And Andrew, can I ask you a question before we take a vote here? Andrew, where are you?
Yep.
Is there a way that we can advertise where the person who is up? I mean, does anyone do that? Does that doesn't happen, does it?
What do you mean? We did advertise.
No. I'm talking about.
Oh, it's easy. I could put it on the website. It's not hard.
Is that something that we can do? Is that legal? Because this is not the first time this has been happened.
Yeah, all I have to do is, I mean, I would probably do like what I do with the ZBA. I think.
You can write incumbent, correct? Do they do that with? I don't know if that happens with some of the other committees in town. Like right away committee. I don't even know how they do it.
Are you talking about like on the website so Mary would have known that Wendy?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me just take a quick look at something. Give me 2 seconds.
I'm just saying for future. We don't need to have.
Yeah. So what we could do, and I did this on the ZBA website. I could certainly do it to MPDC. No one's ever asked, so I haven't done. But it's easy to do.
As long as it's legal and appropriate.
It would not. I can't imagine there would be anything illegal about putting when the term expires. So that's not a problem.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. So does anyone else have anything? Wendy, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'll add my 2 cents and say I think it's always awesome to have as many members of the public that want to put their names forward, no matter who it is, whose seat, because at the times require different things. And Mary, as Nat said, you are one of our favorite people that shows up and is engaged. And
Yes.
we want more and more of that and not less, certainly. So, I do want to continue in this because of those rules at the state level. I really foresee a lot of problems, the challenges that are coming with, kind of recovery efforts are going to be really big. So I hope to be more engaged on that, but I truly welcome working with all of you all the time, and it can shift without a whole lot of, hurt feelings. So you don't have to post it, but I do welcome it. So thanks.
And we appreciate what you're doing, Wendy. I think everybody knows who you are now in the last few months and what you're doing, being on the select board meetings and doing this without warning, without knowing what was coming and volunteering for the community. I think that was a big deal that you stepped up and did that. So we appreciate it. Everyone does. So with that said,
Make a motion to approve.
is there a second?
Second.
Wait, who made the motion? Sorry. Who made that motion?
Yes.
Jack.
Thank you.
And who seconded? Is it Dave?
Bert.
Bert, sorry. Bert's the second person tonight. I didn't catch the voice. I'm sorry. So all those in favor? Fritz?
Aye.
Judith Wagner?
Aye.
John Trudell?
Aye.
Dave Iverson?
Aye.
Christopher Ferrantella?
Aye.
Maureen Phillips?
Aye.
Bert Johnson?
Aye.
Jack Gardner?
Aye.
Leslie Johnson?
Aye.
Wendy? And chair votes aye. Eleanor.
May I say
Okay.
thank you, both Nat and Wendy, for your kind words, and I will try and stay engaged in the coming year.
And Mary, again, on the resiliency group and some of the other things that you pay attention to that aren't necessarily a committee related issue, some of the historic stuff in town, you've got your eye on the ball on a lot of areas, and we appreciate that. And that's how I got started back in the day. It's people bubble up to the surface with this stuff. There's a lot of time involved, and we appreciate you being there.
Thank you.
So, okay. So thank you very much, Mary. The next set of appointments, memberships, I'd like to welcome Christy as the county commissioner appointee, and I'd accept a motion to officially appoint Christy.
So moved. Second.
Okay, so that was Jack and John seconded, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor, Fritz McClure,
Aye.
Judith Wagner,
Aye.
John Trudell,
Aye.
Dave Iverson,
Aye.
Maureen Phillips,
Aye.
Bert Johnson,
Aye.
Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
Jack Gardner,
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella,
Aye.
and Nat Lowell, chair votes aye. Thank you very much. And welcome, Christy. Housing Authority, Bert. Welcome back, Bert. Glad you figured out how to call in.
I had to go over this afternoon and pick up my computers from Martha, who tried to fix it. So
Well, she doesn't live too far away from you, does she?
she lives on the other side of Tom Evers Road, but I had to go to her store, and it was so busy today. There were like 6 or 8 people in line, so I had to come back a couple of times.
Jeez, Bert. All right, so Bert, you're back with us, and we appreciate your attention to us and being back for the year. So with that said, I'll accept the motion to accept Bert from the Housing Authority.
So moved. Second.
Second.
All those in favor, we'll start with Fritz.
Christie was
Aye.
first.
Who made that motion?
I think Wendy made the motion and Christie seconded, I believe. Or is it Maureen?
Leslie made the motion and I seconded.
Oh, Leslie made the I'm so sorry. Oh my God, I'm sorry about that. Leslie made the motion and Christie seconded Eleanor. Okay, sorry about that. So Fritz, I'm sorry, Fritz McClure,
Aye.
Judith Wagner,
Aye.
John Trudell,
Aye.
Dave Iverson,
Aye.
Christie Ferrantella,
Aye.
Maureen Phillips,
Aye.
Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
Jack Gardner,
Aye.
and Bert Johnson,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Thank you very much. In the Concom, Maureen's back with us for another year. And we appreciate her attendance and comments and participation from the West End. Does anyone have any questions or anything? Otherwise, I'll accept a motion to appoint.
I move to accept the appointment.
Second.
Second.
So Judith made the motion, Dave seconded, Eleanor. With that said, Fritz McClure,
Aye.
Judith Wagner,
Aye.
John Trudell,
Aye.
Dave Iverson,
Aye.
Christie Ferrantella,
Aye.
Bert Johnson,
Aye.
Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
Jack Gardner,
Aye.
and Maureen Phillip.
Well, I don't know that I can vote for me.
Well, that's why I wait for the
You
appointed
can.
person to, or the accepted
I
person
can,
to
all
get to
right.
the end.
All right.
Other people have been doing it, so go for it.
All right. Aye.
And chair votes aye. I've been putting the name last. I figured that was the best way to handle that. Okay, well, thank you very much. And for the next item of discussion, I'm gonna turn the meeting over to Judith Wagner to be the pro tem chair for the next few minutes. And as we have done for years now, that's how we sort of do this. So I think it's the right procedure.
Okay,
So with
so,
that said, I'm going to do that. Thank you, Judith, very much.
sure. So our next item of business is to elect the chair and the vice chair. We have an indication from Nat that he'd like to serve again. Are there other nominations for chair?
If there aren't any motions, I'd like to nominate Nat again.
Okay, thank you, Bert.
That.
Is there a second?
Second.
That was Dave,
Yep.
seconded. Ready to move ahead, Nat? We don't want to deny you your moment of glory. Do you want to say anything before we?
Oh, I was waiting for the, yes, no, and I appreciate everyone. I appreciate the support that I've had. You know, one of the things that when I wrote my letter this year, I added a few other things due to COVID and due to Mike being gone. And also, I've really enjoyed, and I say this with a strong heart here, I really enjoyed working with Judith with some of the things that we're working on, although we were moving forward pretty well before COVID. And I think we have a pretty good board with planning and planning commission right now. And I think that we have been able to keep out of the limelight and continue moving forward with our business. And that's been my sort of thinking for a long time, is keeping the planning commission from being political and divisive. You know, there was a time where that was happening, and I think that we've done a pretty good job over the years keeping things, you know, non-controversial. So I'd like to continue that, and we'll be talking about some of those things later in the meeting with Andrew, and hopefully we can get through this COVID issue and get back to our meetings in that air-conditioned, freezing for fairgrounds. Because it's very difficult to, in my opinion, it's very difficult to accomplish the dialogue back and forth in this venue this way. But I mean, we don't have a choice. So, and I also want to say thank you to Derek Schuster for helping us, and Bill Saad for sort of volunteering to sort of try to help make this all work without Mike here. And we all appreciate that very much.
To be fair, we get paid, but of course.
Yeah, but you know what I mean, Derek. We talked about this. We really appreciate you. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to send him a pizza if it complies with the ethics requirements.
Gift cards for whatever place is near his house.
All right.
Under
Is there
$50
further
worth of
discussion
pizza.
on the motion?
Okay.
If there's no further discussion on the motion, if not, I'll do roll call vote. Let's see, Jack Gardner,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
Fritz,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
Maureen,
Aye.
Leslie,
Aye.
Bert,
Aye.
Nat,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Congratulations, Nat.
Thank you.
Do
Thank
you
you, everyone,
want
very
to
much.
pick up from here? Do you want me to handle the rest of the?
If you want to continue for Fritz, that would be great.
Okay, so our other position is vice chair. I'd entertain nominations.
And I can make a motion since I'm not the chair right this second. So I would
Yes.
make a motion to approve Fritz McClure as vice chair for this coming year.
I'll
Second.
So Nat moved, John seconded. Fritz, would you like to comment? Are you willing?
I'm sorry?
Are you willing?
No, thank you. I'd love to continue and support Nat in any way I can. I haven't had the need to step in at meetings because Nat is always there, which is good. And thank you. And I'm very happy to continue as vice chair if that's everybody's choice.
Is there
Excellent.
further discussion? Are you ready to vote?
Yes.
All right, Jack,
Aye.
Christie,
Aye.
Dave,
Aye.
John,
Aye.
Wendy,
Aye.
Nat,
Aye.
Maureen,
Aye.
Leslie,
Aye.
Bert,
Aye.
Fritz,
Aye.
and I vote aye. And I just wanted to say to those of you who voted for yourself, that's the recommendation of the bylaw committee that you will officially get to act upon at some point soon. So you all did it perfectly well, and I turn the gavel back to Nat.
Thank you, Judith, for that. So the agency appointments and committee appointments. So, okay, thank you all for that. I actually get kind of emotional during this process. The contract review committee, Bert, is the appointee, I guess we call it, for this currently. How's that committee going, Bert?
Well, it's a lot of work. If someone else wants to do it, otherwise I'll keep doing it.
Yeah. Does anyone else, do people know what this committee is and so forth? It is a lot of work. So Bert, if you're interested.
move to.
Otherwise,
yes,
if somebody
to
else wants to,
continue.
yeah, it's fine. So was that a motion, Judith? Was that a motion, Judith? Sorry.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. And is there a
Second.
second? Christie
Second.
seconded. Okay. All those in favor, we'll stop. Eleanor, did you get that? Judith motioned and Christie seconded, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
Before doing.
So Fritz McClure, we'll start with him. Judith,
Aye.
John Trudell,
Aye.
Dave Iverson,
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella,
Aye.
Maureen Phillips,
Aye.
Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
Jack Gardner,
Aye.
and Bert,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Thank you. The next committee, I just want you guys to know that I have been on this committee now for a few years. I think it's about 6. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's 6. I am up to my eyeballs a little bit in the last year and a half or so, and I personally would like to take a break for a couple years, a year or two on this committee. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of time in the fall. There's an incredible amount of time. I've learned an incredible amount about how the town really runs behind the scenes, and it's something that I really like doing. But I'd like to relinquish this commitment for a couple years at least. Not that I don't want to do it, but I've got to take a break for a year or two on something. I've been sort of hornswoggled into a lot of stuff in the last couple of years, and it's not going away like the virus. So if there's someone here that would like to take this on, that is willing to put this time in, I wouldn't mind that at all. It would be very helpful. Is that Christie's hand going up over there? I don't have my other screen, so let me move the screen. There's Leslie still in the same picture. Yeah, so if this, if Christie, if you're interested,
Yeah,
It's-
I'd be
it's-
happy to step in.
and I know you know what this is, but you're going back to school. I can tell you that, Christie.
I'll make
It's
a
a
motion
good
to
group.
nominate Christie, sorry. So
It's a good
excited
group
to get
of
it
people,
out.
I tell you that. It's a good group, real good people, very smart, all different thought processes, but it's a great group. So was that a motion, John?
It was.
It was, okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Brett seconded. Eleanor, did you get that? Eleanor, are you there? Sorry.
He's giving a thumbs up, yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, John. She's muted. All those in favor, we'll start with Fritz. My
Aye.
list is in order. Judith,
Aye.
John Trudell,
Aye.
Dave Iverson,
Aye.
Maureen Phillips,
Aye.
Bert Johnson,
Aye.
Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
Jack Gardner,
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella,
Aye.
and that little chair votes aye. Thank you, Christy, for this. And I can tell you, it's gonna be like a brand new world when you start those meetings. So now we have MARPA, and Judith is the MARPA representative from the Planning Commission. How you doing with that, Judith? You okay?
I haven't gone to any meetings because of
Yeah.
COVID and other things, but Andrew's kept me posted. I'm happy.
I
to
was
continue
wondering
to-
about that. That's off-island stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to stay on, or what do you,
I'd be
what's up
happy
with?
to. I'd be happy to say.
It's probably gonna be, there'll probably be some changes in next, hopefully by the first of the year, maybe.
Judith.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. Eleanor, that was Jack, and I believe John seconded. Fritz put his hand up 1 second after John seconded. All those in favor, we'll start with Fritz.
Aye.
Judith.
Aye.
John Trudell.
Aye.
Dave Iverson.
Aye.
Christie.
Aye.
Maureen Phillips.
Aye.
Bert Johnson.
Aye.
Leslie Johnson.
Aye.
Wendy Hudson.
Aye.
Jack Gardner.
Aye.
And that will chair votes aye. Thank you. Affordable Housing Trust, Dave, I know you love this. You're committed to it, and we appreciate that very much. Do you have anything you want to say before someone makes a motion, or is anyone else interested, or are you still interested, or?
I'm still interested. I enjoy my work on it. I would like to remain.
Make a motion to appoint Dave.
Remain.
Remain.
Is there a second?
Jack.
I think that was Jack first there, just trying to be as organized as I possibly can. So that was Christie made the motion. Eleanor and Jack seconded. All those in favor, roll call. Fritz McClure.
Aye.
Judith Wagner.
Aye.
John Trudell.
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella.
Aye.
Maureen Phillips.
Aye.
Bert Johnson.
Aye.
Leslie Johnson.
Aye.
Wendy Hudson.
Aye.
Jack Gardner.
Aye.
Dave Iverson.
Aye.
And that will chair votes aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dave, for that. I know that's a lot. That doesn't just go away either.
Happy to do it.
So, the bylaw committee got resurrected last year. Was it last year, Andrew, or the year before?
Last year.
Was it last? That's what I thought.
And we haven't met for a year, so it's about.
No, I know, but at least we met. So that's good. I don't think they've met for a long time before that. So I certainly would like to stay on with Fritz and Judith, if that's acceptable to everyone, and whatever Andrew has planned for those meetings.
Nat, could I just comment?
Yes, Judith, go ahead, Judith, sorry.
No, I just would tell folks that I think we're pretty close to having a report ready. We worked through it. We've been handicapped with COVID, but I think probably before the end of the calendar year, we'll be bringing you back some updates. Wouldn't you say, Fritz and Nat? That's probably fair.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep. Andrew, you okay with that?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay. So Jack made a motion. I don't know if anyone seconded though.
Bert.
Oh, Bert did. Okay. Great. Thank you. So we'll start with roll call vote. Fritz McClure.
Aye.
Judith Wagner.
Aye.
John Trudell.
Aye.
Dave Iverson.
Aye.
Christy Ferrantella.
Aye.
Maureen Phillips.
Aye.
Bert Johnson.
Aye.
Leslie Johnson.
Aye.
Wendy Hudson.
Aye.
Jack Gardner.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Thank you for that support, everyone.
Point of order, Mr. Chair?
Yes.
It's in the agenda, but just to remind Wendy, she knows this because she's done it so many times, but you do need to go get sworn in at the town clerk.
You do?
Mhm.
Oh, Wendy does. Yes. I'm sorry about that. Are they doing that?
Yeah,
What's,
I had to do it for the housing authority. And
no,
they
I know.
They do it FaceTime. They do it on your phone, FaceTime from the clerk's office now.
Laura, Lori's doing that now, and, yeah, okay, all right. They'll probably send you an email, Wendy, about that, or Eleanor can email her and something will happen.
Thank you.
Okay, so the next item, as I said at the beginning of the meeting, we're gonna have to postpone that to the August meeting. And it just isn't gonna work this meeting. And the same goes for the census complete count committee. Martha wasn't available tonight, so we have to postpone that till August as well. Okay, so I'll turn this over to, is this gonna be Derek and a combination of Bill and Derek, or is this Andrew?
I think we would ask Derek to help us out with this, if that would be okay.
Yep, we had the review period, correct, Derek?
Yeah, so Billy had released this for public comment. I didn't submit any. I didn't have any comments, or MassDOT didn't have any comments on the document. I think what's different about the UPWP this year is just the uncertainty of the transportation program manager role. The funding looks a little different, or the way that funds are being programmed is slightly different to account for Billy, Andrew, and I believe Eleanor taking on some of the, not burden, but joy of transportation planning. Billy, was there anything else you wanted to chime in about for it?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to do my best and extend what Mike had going in 2020, because my knowledge of all this is very limited, and I'm kind of learning as I go here. So the budget is definitely, a lot less than it has been in previous years, and that's really from my lack of experience.
Were any public comments submitted in writing during the comment period?
Not that I know of. Andrew, do you know?
Yeah, there were no additional comments. I did want to remind the board that Billy sent out on June 1st a comparison of the budget from last year to this year, so you all could see how what the reductions were in each individual category. So hopefully you all had a chance to look at that. That went out on June 1st, right after our last meeting.
And I think something we discussed at the last meeting also is that if Nantucket does hire a new transportation program manager during the federal fiscal year 2021 and wish to amend this document to account for how much time they might spend on certain UPWP tasks, that's something that the JTC can release for public comment and endorse at the appropriate time. But for now, this accounts for who's on the ship to be able to pull some weight to perform the transportation planning tasks, is how I understand it.
And Mr. Chairman, so just to update you all on the job, so the transportation planner job has been retained. Funding for that has been retained as a essential position. There were unfortunately 0 applicants during our last advertised round for that position. We had 1 applicant that filed afterwards that did not meet the requirements. We intend to, I guess, re-examine that position and advertise sometime in August. And, hope for the best. Mike is in Houston and he's sort of in lockdown. We have not been able to convince him to reconsider. So that's not looking like a good possibility right now.
Oh, boy. Okay. Derek, do you have anything for us? I mean,
No.
Andrew, I heard you mentioned different advertising or moving beyond some of wherever we're advertising now. Is that possible?
We advertised nationally, hoping with the APA conference, but of course that was canceled. But at least that was part of the job, part of the employment ads. So that was a national advertisement. I'm not sure. I think our HR department had it on their website. I think we went through the Mass APA job postings. Again, the timing is just, as you all know, the housing situation continues to intimidate people from applying, and we just have not had a lot of interest.
Right. And it's such a specialized job. This is like line painting. You got to get the line painting people. Like, you just can't do it yourself. It's unfortunate that this situation, I think during Mike's tenure here, it got more and more complicated since Beth Giannini was here. And I think it's just that much harder to find somebody.
Mr. Chair, if I may?
Yes, John.
Just a question. I know it's a specialized position, and I'm not sure how much advertising money that we invest into it throughout the country. But in this particular case, do we have any rules about maybe hiring a headhunter to look for this specialized position? I know in corporate world,
that's a good question.
For something this unique, because it requires a lot, not just finding the right person, but also educating them on the island. And, it might be something, I just don't know if the town has it in the budget to actually go outsource and hire a headhunter for this unique position.
A great question.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think we could put some of our professional services, if we were to seek that, it would come from our budget. So it would be something that we would have to commit professional services from our own budget towards. I have to check on them about the policy regarding that, but it's certainly something I can report back to you at the August meeting about.
That's a great question, John. I don't know if that's illegal in the town, but that's something that makes sense. Judith?
I was just going to say, I think the housing issue is so fundamental. You have tried in the past to hire a senior planner and weren't able to get any viable candidates there too. So I think there's some real structural problems here that I'm really frankly worried about. Plus, especially with the master plan work coming up and everything else, that we're not competitive. I appreciate that you all have been very good. It's great to see Billy being active here with us and Megan moving up to help the planning board, and Eleanor is always helping everybody. But I just don't know, without some kind of a structural approach that the select board, Christy, I'm kind of asking what your thoughts on this might be. Through your Chamber of Commerce work, how challenging it is, but I just think this is a chronic handicap. And I have thought, I don't think I've had a chance to say this to you, Christy, but I've thought we should consider increasing the building permit fees. That's what's required to try to create some supplemental funding source for things like housing or communication, things of that sort. Does the select board have any kind of magic insights here? That you're probably dealing with this in a lot of different settings.
Yeah, I think it's been a sensitive subject right now to talk about increasing fees when we're dealing with COVID and a pandemic. But it has been something that we've been discussing the last couple of months, kind of pre-COVID.
If I can just chime in, something that COVID's caused a lot of different organizations, whether public or private, to consider or reconsider for the future is working from home and the ability to work from home or flexibility to work from home for certain work. I can tell you now that MassDOT's Office of Transportation Planning is continuing to work from home, and numerous other transportation planning offices and MPOs and TPOs across the Commonwealth and the country not only have staff working from home now, but anticipate they'll continue to until, you know, there's a vaccine for this thing. And MassDOT doesn't have an issue with that. In fact, we're saying, you know, do what's best for your region. And to the extent that you think for re-advertising the role in August, the island can have some or any flexibility for someone to work from home or work remotely for the work. Maybe not all the time.
Yep.
It's just a consideration that for this particular role, that's an option in case you think it's gonna be helpful for getting more candidates. So it's a tool in the toolbox if you need it, Andrew.
I was just thinking that, and I didn't think you were going to say all that, Derek. But I mean, Andrew, if we can advertise the remote part as being a qualification for this, at the same time, Derek, I mean, you know, it's not like Nantucket doesn't have access to the mainland anymore. They could come here and get familiarized with the place, but could live at home, could live somewhere else, preferably in Massachusetts, obviously.
Yeah, I know at least a handful of examples of MPO staff in other regions of the Commonwealth or across northern New England where someone lives in Maine but works in New Hampshire and works in Massachusetts, and split some of their time working from home versus coming into the office or attending public meetings. So there's certainly precedent for hybrid models of where someone lives and works for performing this work.
There's ways to do it, I bet today, where the person, you know, they could spend a little bit of time here, but not have to live here. They don't have to move here, like, you know, U-Haul, move to Nantucket. I think that's what Judith is getting at. I mean, it is so huge to move to Nantucket for something like this. I mean, you know, you have a life, you have family. It depends on how old the person is. Maybe Mike could do it remotely. I don't know. I'm just throwing things around. After he said that, it kind of makes a lot of sense. I mean, there are people working in architecture and other businesses that I know one person that works from Georgia that works on Nantucket from Georgia. So, you know, that could be an option, Andrew. I know you and I are the same age and we don't think this way, but we're going to have to force ourselves to think like this, as much as I hate it.
Nat?
Yes, Fritz.
I would really support Judith's comment. And I guess the first question, I guess I have two questions in that regard. And one maybe is for Derek. And then one is for Andrew. I'll start with the one for Andrew first. From your point of view or perspective, how important or is it for someone, I shouldn't say how important, but in terms of the percentage of the job, how much of the time would you say it's critical that somebody be on the island?
Well, I would say probably, I mean, it's a 35-hour work week, so probably 50%, 40%, somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
He had a lot of meetings he was going to all the time, and then I would help him go, you know, do traffic counts, and he was in and out of the building a lot, but going to a lot of meetings in town for bicycle, for BPAC and right away, and I mean, all of that he could do remotely, but it's, I don't know, 50%.
Okay. The second question then would simply be, I guess, for Derek, and in terms of, is there, is it better to have someone with experience in Massachusetts? And if so, what is the pool of candidates, qualified candidates in Massachusetts?
So for the second question, there's no shortage of institutions of higher learning that are, awarding master's degrees in city planning, transportation engineering, any of the associated degrees that are likely on the ads for this, and that APA recommends for transportation planning role. It doesn't matter necessarily whether or not someone's from Massachusetts to perform this role. Obviously, for any Massachusetts specific laws or policies or programs that they have to follow, and likewise Nantucket policies and programs that they'd have to promote, they'd have to have a learning window in order to adjust to that, but that's normal for frankly any job in government. So I think as long as you are advertising nationally and engaging, institutions of higher learning, if you want to go the route of getting someone who maybe just got a degree in this but has some prior work experience that's relevant, I think it's definitely possible to have someone that might have maybe like 1 to 3 years of professional experience in transportation planning to learn and do this kind of role managing it. I know that's like a big departure from Mike's breadth of experience. Certainly among all of the transportation planners in the state this time a year ago, at the MPO level and TPO level, he was definitely one of the most qualified. So it was definitely a shock. But I think that to the extent that you're able and willing to train a new person to become familiar with the island, and that they're able to attend meetings in person as much as they need to, or perform traffic counts if that's something that other staff isn't going to be performing. Those are all things to consider when you're finding someone for this role.
Dave Iverson, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see if we could work out, think outside of the box and lure Mike back on it's some kind of limited role with the support of Billy. And I don't know if that's legal or if that's possible, but it seems to be maybe an easier way than bringing someone new into the system. And I don't know if Mike's going to do that, or if that works for Billy as well, or if that's something we can do. And secondly, I'm glad I'm not as old as you and Andrew.
You what are you, like a month behind us? Andrew, I know, and I appreciate Fritz, your comments, Judith, Dave's. I mean, this is
Christy has her hand up, Nat.
Okay, Christy, go ahead. Sorry.
That's okay. I was just going to comment that I think COVID has taught us there's so many holes in things, and looking at what we did for Mike and what his position was might not be what the position will be in the future. So I think trying to be really open-minded about if this could be remote or how parts of the job might be able to change so it could be more remote is something that we should be considering.
Yes, Jack.
Yes, I feel as though a job like this, like Mike said, you really have to have the feel for the community. And how do you get the feel for this is a big job compared to some of the other jobs in the office. I think he really needs to be able to go out and talk to the people and whatnot on the streets and everything that he's working. I think it'd be a real hard job to do remotely.
And Jack, I agree with that, and I kind of agree with what everyone's saying. It's just that finding that niche, like if the person, let's say the person lived in like Plymouth, I'm just throwing that out there. In the morning to drive to the boat, it's like nothing. We think going to Squam is like a big deal. They don't think that way when you live away. You know what I mean? Right. I hate going to Squam twice in the same day. I think I've wasted a day. So it's just the way it is. But they do have to, Jack is right.
Be careful that.
You got to know the community. You got to learn all the little nuances. Look what happened when Rob McNeil came and how hard it was for him to figure that out. Everybody is different, how they accept where they're moving to. We definitely have to handpick someone that understands this, but at the same time, I don't think they have to live here. I think they have to be able to be here enough to learn the community, enough to where they can meet with people, take walks with people, learn from the Jack Gardners, learn from the people that know how things got the way they are, and how we're going, and from the new people like Christy, who is cognizant of the past, but at the same time, the future is already here. So I agree with Jack.
Pushing through the state on getting the money. That's a big thing, getting the money that we need here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be somebody that really understands the way things are handled with the state.
Well, that's right, and that's the way we get into what I was told a long time ago. You want the money, you got to play by the rules of the state.
Right.
And the process, Jack, to get the money is as hard as the work. So
right.
It's not like they write a check. That's the problem. You have to understand how to do it. So and it's not going to get any easier. But I think Derek is right as well, as far as there's probably some candidates out there that couldn't move here but could do it. But they have to be willing to put the time in to come to Nantucket, especially 9 months a year, when you can actually come here without too much fear of being stuck, and learn the place. It's not going to happen overnight. So,
No.
but Dave Iverson's point
paper and
is a good one as well. We don't want to underestimate how much Billy's learned and how much more he can learn if he's willing to do it as well. Like, you can have, it's like a partnership. Maybe we'll have 1.5 transportation planners. You know what I mean? So anyway, I think this is a healthy discussion, Andrew. I hope we can adjust the advertising.
Nat.
Yes, Judith.
Mary has her hand up.
And so does Andrew. And so does Andrew.
Okay, go ahead. I'm moving my screen.
Nat, this is Mary. If I may offer a sort of citizen perspective, the transportation planner role is a very public-facing role. People need to have confidence that that person does understand Nantucket and that person experiences Nantucket. And so I think that's just something to take into account. I think people will be more willing to put faith in that person and in their recommendations if that person lives on the island.
I agree.
Yeah. Andrew, did you have your hand up?
I did, and I just want the commission to understand that, this position is governed by collective bargaining. It's part of the union. There was resistance for this position being, actually, Mike had actually proposed doing part of his work off island, and that was resisted, basically. So there may need to be some broader reconsideration of the entire position. I'm happy to hear Christy say what she did, but I'm not sure that sentiment is sort of rooted in current town administration policies regarding positions that might do off-site work. So, I will say, I think Mike is, working in his new position. I don't really think he's coming back. I'm kind of kidding about that. But at least with, the salary, the housing situation, and the expectations for the position, it is a major position, and we may need to re-examine its current classification compared to other positions. And that may need some additional thought. So.
You speaking to the union, Pat, Andrew?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And that limits.
I forgot all about that. You told me this a while ago and I forgot. So I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I should have mentioned it. Judith, did you have your hand up again? Oh, no, you were just telling me that they had their hand up.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could see Mary, and that's.
Yep, appreciate it. Okay, so do we need action, Derek, on this? Do we need to close the review period?
Yes.
Right? Okay. So does anyone else have anything? Jack, we appreciate what you said, by the way. You're right. It's just very difficult to, it's a hard conversation to have about this. We've never had this happen. So, does anyone want to make a motion to close the public review period? Can we do that in one motion? Eleanor, can we close it and approve, or should we make two?
You can make it one motion. Derek will correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you also need to authorize staff to endorse it, right, Derek?
Yeah, so the proper motion would be to close the public review period and endorse the FFY 2021 UPWP.
I would move that.
Thank you, Fritz. Is there a second?
Second.
Wait, who made the motion? Who made it?
Fritz made the motion and Dave seconded. Okay, Eleanor. With that said, roll call vote. Fritz McClure.
Aye.
Judith Wagner.
Aye.
John Trudell.
Aye.
Dave Iverson.
Aye.
Christy Farentella.
Aye.
Maureen Phillips.
Aye.
Bert Johnson.
Aye.
Leslie Johnson.
Aye.
Wendy Hudson.
Aye.
Jack Gardner.
Aye.
And Nat Lowell votes aye. Thank you very much. Thank you, Derek. Thank you for the comments. Appreciate it. We'll get through this.
But before you leave 3C Transportation Planning, I just wanted to let you know that I talked to Pam Hasner from MassDOT Highway District 5 office about some of the comments and questions that were raised at the last meeting. So District 5 staff works during the daytime, and to the extent that anyone from the JTC or planning office would like to work with District 5 to go gloss through the regional transportation plan that was endorsed last year and look for projects or potential projects that you can advance into next year's 5-year tip, because there was a lot of discussion around that. District 5 is happy to work with you guys. I just wanted to let you know that, and that they're sorry they couldn't make the call tonight.
It's all right. Andrew, can we work on that for the next meeting? We have that. I know you're working on a few things with Rob McNeil. We talked about that north side of Milestone, and maybe you'll have we can put together a list of some things that we can discuss at the next meeting. Is that fair?
Yeah, it is for August. I mean, I hope to have Rob into the meeting for August.
Yeah.
He and I have about 6 projects that we're advancing. We are advancing a design for Somerset, which
right. That was in that. Yeah.
Billy Cassidy is paid for that design. We have the in-town bike path, which had prior funding that we are working. We have a working, I guess, concept right now. Moving forward with that. Tom Nevers is a project, again, that is in very early initial concept with the designers with an open contract. Sparks is moving forward. Each of these projects, though, I will let you know, has some sort of issue that is slowing it down. So Sparks has a archaeology study. The Milestone Rotary and Orange Street has
Easement.
an easement from the land bank that requires legislation. And because of town meeting being postponed, that process is postponed. There are other projects that, because of the recent town meeting, the capital items did not pass. So Amelia Drive is not moving forward. Lover's Lane, not moving forward. So again, I think he and I have some projects that are moving forward. We're getting progress on them. But I think, as Derek has said, what Mike used to say, what I've said to you over and over again, is the projects have to be designed and ready to fund. There can't be an ongoing discussion about, well, we're going to look at this option, that option. It has to move forward deliberately and get to a final design. And we just do not have projects at this moment that are at that point.
Okay, and with that said, oh, go ahead, Fritz.
Just a question. I don't know if this is the proper place, but just really for information, and that's on Milestone Road and specifically the Pulpus Road, Milestone Road intersection. Is a reconfiguring of that in the current project, and if so, kind of what's the timing? And if not, well, just I'll ask that question.
I think that's getting left the way it is. I think they were just taking out that middle thing and that was it for that one, Fritz, I think. I'm pretty sure, I hope, it's actually fine the way it is now.
I think that's correct. I think that's correct too. I'm not 100%. I'd have to look.
Okay.
But Andrew, to Fritz's the point, it would be great if there was a way that we could get some sort of movement on that north side bike path to the back of Island Lumber, since we have the layout with the town and the county, actually, right?
Right.
Boy, that would be a really great thing for safety. Now that you can see where it would be, now that they finished that little thing there, and then you can see it's sort of like 93 in the 70s with those two off ramps to nowhere. Remember that?
Nat, I can tell you that with Ken Bogrand, I met with the land bank and we had a very positive staff level meeting to discuss their sort of overall planning for the Hayes property there, and how how that property is going to change, how the entrances are going to change, and how that would all work together to connect to the in-town bike system. And so again, there's a lot going on right now. It's just most of it is preliminary at this point and just not ready.
But if they're positive about this, then that's all I need to hear.
They definitely are.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. Does anyone else have anything before we move on to the next item? Is everybody okay? Nobody's got their hand up, Judith?
No.
Okay. So Andrew, on this, how do we pronounce this? MAP, M-A-P-C, or Massachusetts Black and Latino Legislative Caucus? Is that something that you're going to give us some information on?
Well, I put it in because that is the largest regional planning agency in the Commonwealth. And just to make you aware of what they are considering, which is there was a 10-point plan that they actually got behind.
Okay.
It's there just to let you know what they're doing. I'm not sure if it's anything that anyone's interested in, but I did include it so you knew at least what's occurring in some other areas.
Is that something that you can send us by email? Something from that news report or that Regency?
Sure.
That would be great if you could do that. Does anyone else have anything to add tonight? We've got the great attendance. We've got some great people on here tonight. So Judith?
I wondered, I know our meetings are strange because of Zoom, but I wondered if at our next meeting, we might dedicate some time to talking about economic development issues, kind of beginning to think about what our role might be with that. And
yeah,
also, I hope you and I spoke, Nat, and I've written to Andrew too, to think about where we are with the master plan process. So if we can, as we think about the agenda going forward, that might be good. And I see Mary has her hand up, Nat, since I'm your watcher from afar.
Wendy, I'll get to you, Wendy, after Mary. Go ahead, Mary.
So I watched the video from your last meeting, and one of the subjects that came up and was mentioned might be a topic on this month's agenda was the internet access and the fiber optic cable. I happen to have had some fingers in that issue. The Act Now did write one of their weekly blog posts about it, following a conversation with me where I suggested that that was an issue. So I can either talk a little bit about that right now if you would like me to, or if you are putting that item on a future agenda, I would be happy to get a little bit more information and talk to you about that. That's one of the things that I'm very enthusiastic about, is the possibility of more high-speed internet access for the island.
Yeah. You want to look at that for next month, Andrew?
Sure.
Because that's something I'm sure that Christy would want to weigh in on as well with that's been brought up numerous times. Wendy, what did you have? Did you have your hand up, Wendy?
Yeah, I don't have a ton to add. The Rural Policy Advisory Commission that I sit on from this board we've had like one Zoom, I think, since last meeting, but the main agenda was to make recommendations. Sorry?
Go ahead, Wendy.
Okay. We just had a letter because the economic development plan from the governor, everything has shifted with COVID. And so the Rural Policy Advisory Commission just sort of made their recommendations, the top 5 priorities as they saw it. So I should circulate that letter with you guys. It was just a letter of support to the legislation for one of the House acts, but the top priorities were to continue focus by having an Office of Rural Policy, because there's nobody at the state level that's looking at this. There was also an Office of Outdoor Recreation, another timely issue. I'm just scanning the top 5. A growth management strategy for the state because of the configuring of, so many people leaving the city now moving to rural areas and what kind of pressures that's creating for them. And then the fifth bullet was the broadband access. And I guess the governor has $5 million to, additional for the broadband incentive fund. I don't know, maybe Mary knows if we can access any of that. But that's maybe something to look at. The governor's budget was something like $10 million, and we're advocating for $100 million because 10 was just not going to cut it for the scope of work, and then the need that's suddenly happening again with this.
Okay, so we can have that for next month.
And hopefully more, by then. But this was a quick letter. I
just want to kind of add to what Judith said about the economic development stuff. It's funny, we haven't talked about that in years. And I think, Judith, that what's happening in town needs another month or two. People are talking about the restaurant stuff in a way like almost as if they like it so much in some cases that they're talking about doing it next year. Now, when I say next year, I mean if COVID is not a problem. You know what I mean? We don't know that. It probably, by the way things are going, it's probably still going to be a problem of some kind. But I mean, no one ever could have said, if I ever brought up the fact of closing North Cambridge Street, I would have been hauled away in a paddy wagon somewhere. And now all of a sudden we think it's normal. So the economic development stuff is more about this component of restaurants and business into the fall and how this is going to sort of work out, Judith. And I think that the Planning Commission has a role here to sort of weigh in a little bit with it, like with what Amy Baxter's been doing, who really deserves a lot of credit for what she's been able to pull off in town with these businesses. And you know, other stuff. I know what you're thinking about Harbor Place and things like that, but I'm more focused right this minute on how things we don't really know what's going to happen in the fall, but I think it's going to be something that we'll definitely want to have you know, some sort of just weigh in on it with the town. Would you agree with that?
I would just say, I think that's a piece of it, but my personal concern is a lot larger and beyond that. I think the points about IT infrastructure are part of it. I think we're really, we've put ourselves at risk in that our main economic forces here are geared to tourism and construction, and if it continues or the next pandemic comes, we really, so what I would say, it's clearly up to you as chair, I'm sure, but I think it would be helpful to have a broader discussion of some of the themes that Wendy just talked about in terms of the rural planning and what Mary said, and to have some of that in our mind, because I think that we'll get pulled into the immediate moment of what's going on downtown, but I continue to think we need to have some other part to our fundamental economic framework here, because if not, we're really just continuing the major risk that we've had so far. And if there's going to be money available potentially through the governor and through the legislature, we better be thinking ahead about ways that we could go beyond what our traditions have been. That's just my own personal view, but so I don't disagree that there'll be need to address some of the things related to restaurants, but I think there's more to it, and I'd really like
No,
to
I get it. I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to focus just on that. I really actually think what Wendy and Mary said is a huge issue. I just wasn't thinking of it in that focus.
Hand up.
Yep, Christy, go ahead.
I was just gonna echo.
Holding my head up. No.
Oh, Fritz. Wait a minute. Sorry about that. Did Fritz have his hand up before? I've switched my screen over.
Well, while we're there, I would just say, and Mary, I assume still on. He's the sewer department. Hello? Yeah. I assume Mary's still on, but
yes, I'm here.
The other part of this, and I alluded to it a few months ago in terms of coastal resiliency, and I think that I think our committee commission can have some role in that as that unfolds. And obviously, Mary has been meeting with the select board, making presentations. We're going to be having another meeting tomorrow about that. So that's all very immediate in terms of the kinds of things that we may be proposing in the next now and in the next couple of years. And I think that we should have a discussion about the potential role that we might have in that as well.
No, I agree with that 100%. Sorry, Christy, then Wendy.
Yeah, I was just gonna echo a lot of what Judith was saying, is being able to look a lot of big picture and how our economy can shift our economic drivers. I know, as I mentioned earlier, COVID has shown a lot of holes and a lot of things that we realized with looking at other towns and cities across Massachusetts and across the country. They were able to provide a lot more economic support to small businesses in the community because they had economic development agencies or a really active NPDC. So just making sure that we focus on that economic development part of the name. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Wendy, go ahead.
Simply to be that we are lucky now to have Christy.
Gotta speak up, Wendy. I don't know what you did wrong.
What? Oh,
there you go. There you go.
my internet isn't perfect. Sorry. I was just saying we're really lucky to have Christy because between the chamber, I mean, all the work, all the task force that she's been doing this whole time is going to be invaluable as we try to pivot a little bit more toward that direction. So between all of our interests, I don't know if we should have a subcommittee of some kind, maybe to get some agenda items, but
yeah. No, I think what Fritz just brought up is a really important thing. Like Andrew and I have talked about some of that stuff as far as the streets, raising the streets and things that are going to be proposed that we're going to have to look at as far as how it affects businesses, etc. But my thought, obviously I'm not the best computer person in the world, but all that stuff that you guys are talking about is hugely important. And I'm just talking about, when I bring up the restaurants, Judith, I don't mean to say restaurants by themselves. Just with what we've done this summer, and it's only halfway through, is something that, again, if anyone ever proposed closing some of these streets, they would have been laughed at. They would have been like, who is this person? So we've almost got ourselves prepared for change in general, not just one thing. So this is good. And Wendy has their finger on the pulse of the governor as far as this financing and so forth for that. So maybe we should have a committee, Andrew, from this board to have a sort of a role in this, more focused instead of just talking at the meetings, and have something to report back. I think that that's a good idea, and we think we should bring that up at the next meeting, Andrew. Whether it be
how many members? 3, 5?
I think it has to be an odd number, right, Andrew?
And not a quorum.
I'm not, just to speak, I'm not sure I was suggesting that needs to be like standing, but just sort of a kick-starting ad hoc.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. It's too difficult for these meetings to deal with stuff like that. This is something that has to be sort of worked on by people that understand it, so, and I'm certainly not one of them. So that's important that we look at that, especially if the governor is already proposing some of this. So other places are doing the same thing. So I think we should have someone from Resiliency, someone in Christie's role here, and Wendy's role. So I don't know how many people. Maybe we can work on that before the next meeting, Andrew.
Just a point of order.
Yes.
Nat.
Yes, Fritz. Go ahead.
As long as it's less than a majority of the commission, does that mean we can meet together and talk together without any open meeting issues?
Yeah. What's the quorum now? Is 6, right, Andrew, or 7?
Yes, but advisory committees that are making recommendations still have to follow open meeting law guidelines. So you're going to at least have to have minutes and things like that. So.
And you'll have to post the meetings with public notice.
Right.
Okay. Well, we can. Yes, Judith.
I would also suggest that we not necessarily limit it only to the NPEDC, like with Mary's expertise here.
No, I agree.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
No, I do. That's actually an excellent idea, Judith. It's just this is something we haven't talked about economic development in 12 years.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, go ahead.
So, Leslie's not at the meeting tonight, and I asked her to be at the August meeting to update us as well. She's been active with this group of people on economic development. So I don't want people to leave this meeting. I mean, you know, we've been recognized by the town manager for our work, both Paul and Leslie, you know, to keep the economy going here. So economic development is important. It always has been. It's just, it always hasn't been a welcome role when it was suggested in the past. If you remember from our surveys from past master plans, the overwhelming response was the town shouldn't be involved in economic development. So
you stole my next
changes over time. And I just want, you know, I want you all to remember that, you know, at least in 2006, the response was overwhelmingly, why would the town be involved in economic development at all? And at least in the time that I've been here, it's shifted, you know, it's shifted quite radically. So.
Yeah, Andrew's right about that. Christy, you're, you know, younger. When we talk about economic development, we're sort of like, what do we need any more work for? But what Judith and Fritz and yourself and Wendy are talking about is a new kind of economy, or a piece of it, and that's what this is. And I think we should keep that point focused, because, you know, the traditional economy is not going away, but there is new economy here, and I think that's important to keep the two separated, that we're not trying to like make more business or make more people come here or more new houses. It's just has nothing to do with that. It's actually the opposite. So I appreciate the comments, and and hopefully we can have something for next meeting, to form a committee if that's what we want to do.
Matt, may I offer another comment?
Yeah.
Just 2006, if that was the last survey, that was right before a recession.
Mary, are you muted?
No, I'm not. Can you hear me?
Oh, no, I hear you now. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. 2006, if that was the last time that the community was surveyed, that was businesses booming, and it was right before the recession of 2008 and forward. And I just wanted to make the point that we may be facing another recession. We don't know what's going to happen, but public sentiment is, you know, I'm sure drastically affected by current conditions, but this may not be the worst it gets. And you know, we just don't know. I think it's very wise to plan ahead to see if we can take that possible negative turn into consideration. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mary. Go ahead, Andrew.
2006 and 2016 were the survey dates, and there's not a radical change in either of those times of that question. Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
That was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but we're not doing a survey every year. I mean, you know.
Okay, so are we good? Is everybody okay? With those comments? Otherwise, if anyone else doesn't have anything else to add.
Just a reminder, if you don't mind, that our next meeting is August 24th. So it's Monday, August 24th, 6 p.m.
Okay. If anyone has any comments, please email Andrew and Eleanor. If anything to add, if anything pops into your mind about this and about this topic we're on right now, and that would be great. So open the dialogue. So anyway, thank you all. Are we okay? I don't want to go too fast here, just making sure that everyone's okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Dave, the tide's coming in Dave's video there. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Fritz?
Aye.
Judith?
Aye.
John Trudell?
Aye.
Dave Iverson?
Aye.
Christy?
Aye.
Maureen Phillips?
Aye.
Bert Johnson? Bert, you still there?
He's muted.
Okay. Leslie Johnson,
Aye.
Wendy Hudson,
Aye.
and Jack.
Aye.
Thank you so much. Chair
Okay.
votes aye. Thank you all. Thank you for your support
Good
and
night.
all the ideas. And thank you, Christy, for being here.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks.
Everybody.
See ya. Okay.